Look, we can put all the initiatives we want down on a piece of paper, but when it really comes to putting it into action, which is, being a mother, it's unpredictable. Your child is ill, or your caregiver is ill, or something happens at school, or there's something really important at school that you want to attend that was last minute. I think as an employer, it really is about flexibility.
The industry is starting to return to normal after 3 years of remote work, and there's a new desire to get back into in-person working, networking events, etc. But for many women, that return has presented some logistical challenges around childcare and other caregiver responsibilities. What are some of the challenges brought about by this shift that companies should consider for female employees? And tell me a little bit about, your experience.
I'm mother of two. I have a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old. And I actually started remote working in 2016 when I moved from New York to Chicago. We didn't have a Chicago outpost. We had like a WeWork space, but based on the birth of my child, I was pretty much at home. So it was in 2016, that I really started to see some of those challenges arise. More often than not, it was around travel. Happens when I have to go out of town for a photo shoot or for a client meeting. Pre-pandemic clients, they really want face-to-face time. So it felt like I was constantly on a plane. I was very lucky in the sense that I own my own business and I have an amazing caregiver. So she would often come with me with my oldest son now. At the time, he was my only child. She would travel with me. And so it meant that I could always keep my son with me, right? When I had 2 children, however, that really changed. That was like, okay, I'm going to have to leave them at home for a few days, or I'll be gone, for a week. And that's a long time for a kid. Became much more focused on schedules and really looking at how I was maximizing my time, both with my children and then obviously for the business as well.
So in your opinion, what parameters can be put in place to ensure that women's transition back to in-person work or some form of hybrid work is a pleasant and stress-free experience?
I'm not sure there's one particular policy that you could implement that allows for flexibility. I just think it's something that has to be perpetuated in culture. As an example, if somebody has to leave work early, right, because they have a pickup or there's something going on with the kids, just understanding that, it's okay to ask us, or it's okay to go and let us know. Definitely when I first had my first son, I always felt apprehensive to admit that, hey, I might not be able to make this meeting because I've got to take the kid to a doctor's appointment. But there comes a point where you're like, this is really not okay. I need to make time for my child to take them to the doctor,
Yeah, and when we hear about women's challenges in the industry or the workplace in general, we often hear about burnout being a major pain point, especially after having children or taking care of elderly loved ones. So what is the impact on burnout for women, and how can the industry better support women who are struggling?
Take a more human approach. We're all human. We all know what the needs of our teams or our employees are. So it really is looking again at what is happening, the circumstances around it. I don't think there's one key, like I said, policy or thing that's going to make a huge difference. But I do think having a much more human approach and understanding to those challenges are what important.
Another issue we hear often about is when it comes to empowering women in the workplace. When they return from parental leave, it can be difficult to keep up or feel confident in one's abilities. How can Adland support women who want to have children without falling behind in their careers?
Providing them with support, I think. We've had several employees now go away on mat leave and come back, right? And when they've come back, they've been fully supported. We make sure that when they were out, whoever replaced them on the account, was written up exactly all the things that have happened, all the things that have gone on, and then we actually keep that person, so there's crossover. So there's working between the two of them before the person that went away on mat leave and came back fully jumps back into the role.
What are some areas professional women struggle in that you feel you need to get more attention or funding to help resolve?
Childcare. I'm very lucky. I own my own business. You know, I'm the co-founder, and so I have an amazing caregiver, but not everybody has access to that. Similarly, you know, during certain months of the year, my mom, who's from England, will come over and help, and I have a really supportive family network. But if I didn't have that, it would be an immense struggle to get things done. I think ensuring that childcare is at the top of the priority list in supporting women is super important.